Y'all know what bothers me so much? Okay, this man nearly posted me every single day on Snapchat and on Instagram. He never took me out of his bio. Never. Not once. He never removed the highlight of me in his bio, which was full, a highlight of me and him. He commented on my pictures all the time. First to comment, first to like all the time. I commented on his pictures all the time. I hung out with him every single day. Literally, every single day. There'd be times where I did not come home because I was hanging out with him, bro. And he still cheated! How? Literally, what? So, bro, man.
Here are 5 reasons why men cheat. Men cheat because they are emotionally dissatisfied. Men cheat because they have friends who cheat. And the reason I say that is because you are who you hang around. Men also cheat to get back at their partners. Men cheat because an ex walked back into their life. Men also cheat whenever they're feeling depressed or anxious.
Women cheat the best.
You on Instagram, really? Seriously, stop lying. Who you texting?
I'm on Instagram. What the fuck?
Yo, stop fucking lying to me. Who you texting?
I'm on Instagram. What?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So Instagram has eggplants, right? Turn around, look. Look. Yeah.
A woman cheats far before she cheats physically. If she is emotionally attracted to you, and if she's in a relationship, that's for me, it's some form of cheating, right? Because you have someone, how can you allow that space to open up for someone else, right? And like I said, I mean, a woman can have sex with anyone. It doesn't necessarily have to be invested emotionally, but I think that she will cheat way before she actually cheats physically.
So would you consider that cheating if they're mentally,
Absolutely.
texting other guys or
For me, yes.
entertaining other guys?
For me, I believe that is a form of cheating.
Patients who are cheating now are women. And the men say, when you're coming, what happens is that the women get into this rut. They feel like they're not being appreciated, not being taken out, and they start seeking affection elsewhere.
I don't consider myself to be a particularly ethical person, but I am fair.
Thank you, and subscribe and share. Today's episode is going to be about men only cheat. I've always heard that growing up, of one of the main things that men do to destroy a relationship is cheat. And that is true a chunk of times. Welcome, my friends. My name is Antoine Phoenix, and this is my RP experience. Peace and love to all my brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for being here for another one of my videos. This is another video that I decided to retouch again, because looking at it with new eyes from what I did in 2022, I was like, man, yes, let me do that video over. Jeez. Sound quality was bad. I had a fire alarm thing beeping in the background. And for whatever reason, I could not fix that alarm because the way that they had it set up, even putting a battery in it, it would still beep. So, okay, but I don't have that problem now. Today's video, I'm going to rename it, but at that time, I believe I made it Only Men Cheat. Okay, and I was looking at that women cheat also. Okay, they are just, well, I will always say they're just better at it, but the reason why I say they're better at it is because they are enabled. The men cheating with them, because, okay, for example, men and women want two different things out of the opposite gender most of the time. Not to say that women don't want intimacy, but that is more down on their list. With men, from women, intimacy is at the top. It's not money, it's not clout, it's not attention, it's intimacy. Well, really, is the sexual activities. If a man's getting that, most of them is good. Now, some of them may want ownership and they may not want the woman being with other men. And that's usually when that is his main chick, his wife, his girlfriend, a woman that he has put claim on the same way as a woman puts claim on a man, that's my man or something. In the relationship arena, when you are dating, hooking up in this environment, men and women can get pretty much out there. And this is why I will say that women cheat better, because they are more enabled. Men usually won't blow up the spot. They won't say anything. They will just keep pounding your woman. Whereas if a man's cheating on his woman, unless if he is Drake or some superstar out there, most women is going to want to secure that man. And that man will probably lie to her and say, okay, well, just a little bit more time, or after this date, it will be just me and you, and then she will blow up the spot. Or sometimes a man won't even tell. And that's the one difference that I will say. Most of the time, a woman will tell you that she's married. She has a boyfriend. And a lot of men won't care. And that's why, even though I'm defending men by pointing out what women are doing, I cannot ignore that men are also part of the problem. Because anytime a woman has cheated on me or stepped out on me, unless if that man was on the outside looking in and didn't know the situation or did not know me, but if he was a friend of mine or associate, he knew, and then he still decided to mess with her, I cannot even deal with that. So I have a video by your girl Nola. I think she stopped creating content. And looking at her, okay, I'm going to play this old clip of me, and then we're going to continue. Let's look at this video.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl back for another video. So this video I'm going to talk about women and cheating. It seems like our society programs us to think that women do not cheat. It's men that cheat. Men are the dogs. Men are the pig. You can't always cheat on you. He will always cheat on you. We hear this in talk shows, TV shows, movies. Like I said, we're programmed to think that way. Also, we're programmed to think that men are the aggressor, the abuser. It's only men that commit violence. But yet, I know throughout my life, I've seen women be just as violent and just as aggressive as any man. But I'll make a separate video about that. But with women, I believe that women cheat just as much as men. This is from my personal experience, from what I've seen throughout my life. You know, I've seen a lot of guys cheat, but I've seen so many more women cheat. And being a woman myself, I get to be an insider to the things that women talk about. And yes, they will admit to one another that they cheat, but you will never hear an ounce of remorse. They always victimize themselves. What they'll say is, instead of saying, you know what, I cheated, it was wrong, it was dishonest of me, it was betrayal, and I'll never do it again, what you will hear is, well, I cheated because I had to. He wasn't giving me what I needed and what I deserved as a woman. And all the other women will, jump right in and, be victims and victimize her, saying, oh, you poor thing. He should have treated you better. You take care of his kids and you do this, you do that, and he should have appreciated you more and you wouldn't have had to go screw another man. But it's really quite scary how they do that. But they're never remorseful, and they always shift the blame on their boyfriend's spouse or partner, whatever you want to call it. You know, back in the day when women did this kind of stuff, they were shunned. They were the talk of the town. None of the other women wanted to be friends with them. But nowadays, we either don't admit that women do these type of things, or when it is admitted, they don't get any consequences for it. It's totally okay for women to cheat. It's totally acceptable for them to have multiple partners and have children from multiple men. Like, we're completely okay with that as a society. It's almost unnatural and weird to see a woman that doesn't do this kind of stuff. Women like that are now shunned and looked at as weird and stupid and lame and boring. But I don't know, I don't enjoy making videos about this stuff, believe it or not. A lot of women will contact me that are very liberal, progressive, and get very angry at me and call me a woman hater, but I am one, right? And I'm a sexist and all of this, but yet I'm only telling the truth. I'm only getting on here and talking about the truth. And I mean, that's what it is. It's the truth. Instead of them addressing these bad behaviors, they rather attack someone for exposing it. It's completely ridiculous. It is not fair to portray men as cheaters when women do it too. And women do it just as much as guys do, you know, and women cheat for different reasons. Like, one of the main reasons is they feel like they're not getting that attention from their man that they were getting in the beginning. Women are very selfish and very immature. You're not going to get the same lovey-dovey type attention, you know, when 5-10 years go by with your man. But if he's coming home to you every night and you have his last name and he's...
Wow, looking at her, see, that is how my ex and her looks a lot alike. Not exactly, but a lot alike. Okay, so you will see why I picked that woman. And she had some of the same qualities. It's just that over time, things changed. She changed, I changed, and then it just wasn't a good fit. But getting back with what she was saying. Yes, when a woman cheats, it's always the man's fault. Men will look at the man, women will look at the man. Society will look at the man that he done dropped the ball. And she is A-okay. And this is why I believe women are enabled to cheat and move freely. If you look at any rom-com or romantic movie, there's always cheating involved. It's always some guy that she's with that's not really the guy that she wants to be with, but she is settling to be with him, hoping the guy she really wants to chase her or step forward or blow up the wedding. And if he does those things, she will leave that guy high and dry. In some movies, like Titanic, they made the man that she was with, and sometimes this does happen, sometimes the man or woman is with a total demon or a horrible person, but a lot of times they are with a decent or good person that's treating them well, but has no sparks. They want to be with somebody else, and therefore eventually they act on those desires.
That he loves you, he's committed, but that's not enough. Women, like I said, they're very selfish, they're very immature. They'll go cry to another man, oh, he doesn't compliment me anymore, he doesn't give me any attention, and of course he'll start complimenting her, and the next thing you know, wham bam, thank you ma'am. So that's one of the main reasons I see. I remember when my husband and I were, rebuilding our lives after Katrina up north. We were renting an apartment. We just had our daughter, so we had a baby monitor in our room. And they had a girl upstairs that was married with a newborn baby as well. And her husband would bust his ass. He was such a nice guy. He would bust his ass working for them to get their first house. They were saving up to get a new house. And one night he was at work, and my baby monitor picked up a phone conversation she was having with a lover. And she was telling this lover, my husband doesn't give me enough attention anymore. He doesn't compliment me. He doesn't tell me I'm pretty. And he was like, oh, you poor thing, you're so beautiful, and I'll tell you that every day if you come live with me, and this and that. And she was totally biting the bait. It was ridiculous. But I was just thinking how selfish of her, how immature of her. Your husband's out busting his ass so y'all could get a house and you can be home with y'all baby, and you're crying to another man because he doesn't tell you you're pretty every day. You're a fucking baby, But that's just my opinion. But there's another reason why women cheat. Let me think. Okay, so then you have these really superficial type females that are like the gold diggers, very attractive, spend a lot of money on themselves. They seek out older men that are pushovers, that have financial stability, and these are typically really good, nice guys. They will marry that guy and get their financial support and emotional support from him, and then cheat on him with the bad boy. The bad boy will typically be jobless, so she can't leave her husband for the bad boy because the bad boy cannot support her and cannot give her that emotional support. So she'll, stay with the hubby for emotional support and financial support and stability and run to the bad boy for sex. I mean, that's just what they do. So that's the two main reasons that I see. And y'all, I've seen women in my husband and I's own family and my co-workers. I've seen women that are very respectable to the outside, church-going, seem to have it all together. You would never think they would do such a thing, but I've seen it. And when women cheat, they don't just cheat for physical reasons. They get emotionally involved. And to me, that is the ultimate betrayal. That would hurt really bad, the emotional. But that's what it is. It's betrayal. And when women do that, and I know they do it, I lose all respect for them. I would never sit there and, pat them on the back and tell them it's okay and it's not your fault. I would never do such a thing. If you're cheating, you don't have any character. You're dishonest. You're not loyal. You're a complete waste of time. And, you need to, look inside yourself and try to change yourself, because that's, it's just the ultimate betrayal to me. But women definitely cheat. They cheat a lot. They cheat just as much as men. Unfortunately, in our society, with feminism being so big and organized, it's a crime to put women in an unflattering light. But the thing is, I get all these messages from feminists all the time attacking me, but the thing is, women are putting themselves in the unflattering light. I'm only talking about what they're doing. So why not attack them for what they're doing? Why attack me for talking about it? I wouldn't have to talk about it if they weren't doing it. So comment below. What do y'all think? Do you agree with me? Why or why not? Give me a like. I am going to put this video on VidMe as well. And I just want to show y'all real quick for my subscribers that are familiar, that know about my pregnancy. We are expecting baby number 3. I did have an ultrasound and everything was healthy, nice and strong heartbeat. I'm going to be going into the 3rd month next week, but that's our little bambino right there. I don't know if y'all can see, but that's the head. And that's the little body. And it was in there moving around. So cute. We're very, very excited, and we're expecting this little baby to arrive in late May of next year. So super excited. See y'all back on my next.
Wow. And she definitely dissected that well. This is why, if I'm with a woman and she's running to another man, and I made the mistake of thinking a friend of mine, it was okay for her to run to, because I figured that he would be an intermediate person between both she and I. I find out years later he done hit on the wife. So he got excommunicado, okay, off of John Wick. Like, okay, you are, look, I don't hate the dude, because I definitely look at her as well, but this is why I can't look at women the same. And while I can come on here and say that it's not all men's fault, and that a lot of men are being done wrong, a lot of times you are being done wrong by other men, okay? Other men. And you can't give me that thing of, oh, okay, well, you should be thanking him because he saved you or something. Okay, if it's a random dude that happened to just come up and expose my woman, then fine. But if it's a guy that I thought was a friend and he went behind my back, I'm like, yeah, I don't trust anybody right now. So unless if a woman is walking a fine line, not doing certain things, yeah, I can't get serious like that again. And another thing that I'll say that both genders tend to do, we don't communicate. And not just that, we don't communicate, but also the other person does not try to understand. When a man is saying, hey, he needs sexual attention or he needs a, a BJ, especially if the woman was doing it early in the game, but now she don't want to do it. And of course, this is what something that both men and women both have to understand. Once you have kids, the game totally changes. And truthfully, maybe a lot of you don't need to have kids because I don't want to go weeks without doing it because I have a kid. And at the same time, I know she don't want to go weeks without going out, being treated like a princess, being told that she's beautiful, feeling special. Okay? Both men and women need certain things in a relationship. And certain changes and things that happen, you have to be aware of, communicate with each other, and understand what each other is doing. But how many people are going to do that? I have to hope that some of these people that making videos about relationships and how they see how other people are doing, that they don't go down the same path. So I have to assume that she won't be, I'm talking about Nola, she won't be crying in another man's lap about her husband. But at the same time, her man is able to come to her and say like, hey, we haven't been able to do it in a while. We haven't been able to spend quality time. That's with both of them. We need to still have time for ourselves. And I will say, that's one thing I remember my ex-wife has said, that we still have to have time for ourselves. And I have to admit, I did not take it as seriously as I should have. I think because I was under a lot of pressure of trying to provide and trying to get enough money, and things kept coming up. So I think that was at the forefront of what I was thinking. So while I can look at her and say things that she did that definitely tainted the relationship, I can definitely look at myself and say, hey, I could have been better here. I could have tried to do things a little bit differently. We both could have communicated better and tried to understand the other person and kept other people out of the relationship. Well, that's more on her. I really wasn't running to anybody else. But that's why I say, if a woman's doing that to you, run to some other dude, telling all your business, especially telling a half-sided story, whereas she's the victim and you are the perpetrator, you are the villain, then look, maybe it's time just to blow that shit up. So, hope you enjoyed this. Give me a like and subscribe, and have a good night.
If your girl is flirting with another guy, is that cheating?
100%. If my girl started flirting fully with another guy, I would consider that cheating. Would I break up with her? I don't know. I know that I love my girlfriend. And I don't flirt with other girls.
Like online or in person?
Is there a difference?
Kind of. In public, at like a Walmart, and I see a fine ass dude, I'm like, and we strike up a conversation, and then that's it, then no. But if we're talking on social media, then yes.
我知道你就是我最想要的。
Dollar bills, keep you falling from me. I love the way I feel, boy. Some money, dropping on my money. Drop some money on a sister, yummy, yeah. Flicking, right at things I like. Boy, bye, stopping in my ass tonight. Some money, dropping on my money. $5 bills, dollar bills.